all cell phones and pagers or place them in the vibrate mode. And Mrs. Georgia Fuller. And Mrs. Laura Bush.
Mrs. Vasquez and Ambassador Rooney and Mrs. Rooney, George and I would like to welcome you to this lovely Saturday afternoon event at Villa Taverna. First of all, thank you very much for all the efforts that so many of you have put into making this presidential visit an incredibly successful one. I know how much effort has gone into it, and I am deeply appreciative of all of your efforts in this regard. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the parents who were able to bring all these lovely children here today to participate in this event. And to you kids, most of all, I'd like to thank you for bringing your parents and making sure they behave themselves very well. Now, let's get to why we are really here today. It is my distinct honor this afternoon to welcome President George W. Bush and First Lady Laura Bush. The President and First Lady have visited us before, but I believe this has been their busiest trip ever to Rome. If it hasn't been, I'm glad I wasn't around for those other trips. I know, however, that you're not here to listen to me talk about what happened today. I know the President likes very brief introductions, and therefore I better stop now while I'm reasonably well ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure for me to present to you the President of the United States.
Short speeches. So you get thanks for coming. We're honored to be back in. Coming to Rome is a real thrill. For those of you who are probably like, what's good about it? For those of us who are coming from the United States, we're honored to be and we had a great day, and I want to thank those who worked hard to arrange it. First, I want to thank our ambassador to the United States of America, Ron Spoley, for exemplary service. Thank the Roonies, Francis, and Kathleen, who is the ambassador to the Holy See, as you know. We thank you for their service. Amigos, the Vasquez family, Gaddy and Elaine Vasquez, who work at the UN Food and Agricultural Organizations. I want to thank all those who work at these organizations. Those who work at the embassy, those who work at the Holy See, those who work for the UN. Thanks for coming by to say hello. And thanks for representing the United States of America. I don't think there's any greater honor than to represent the United States of America, and I want to thank you for your service. I thank the DCMs and their families who have joined us. I also want to say something about the Italians who are here. I get to travel a lot. I go to a lot of embassies and thank a lot of people who work for us. And it always turns out that our embassies work especially well when the nationals work side by side with Americans. So on behalf of a grateful nation, I thank the Italian citizens for working on behalf of the country. I bring a message that believes strongly in human rights and human dignity and world peace. It was such an honor to meet with his Holy Father today. We had a fantastic experience. I'm a lowly Methodist seeking redemption. And to be in his presence was a real thrill. He's a smart man, clearly an intellectual, but a compassionate and decent fellow who has got the concerns of the world deeply embedded in his heart. And we had a really good discussion, and I'm proud to report to you that I was able to address many of his concerns. I was able to bring a message of deep compassion for people who suffer with HIV/AIDS. After all, our nation has just pledged to double the amount of money we will spend to help alleviate the scourge and trauma on the continent of Africa from 15 billion to 30 billion over a 5-year period. I told him we've got an aggressive plan to reduce, if not eliminate, malaria. I told him that we care deeply about feeding the hungry. I told him we care deeply about those who live under the clutches of tyrants. I told him we believe deeply in freedom and liberty as the way to bring peace. And then I had a good visit with the Prime Minister. The President was a good visit with the Prime Minister. And the question in a lot of people's minds here in Italy is, could Bush possibly have a friendship with Romano Prodi after the kind of friendship he had with Silvio Berlusconi? And the answer is, of course. Absolutely. I represent a great country. Romano represents a great country. And you bet we got a good relationship. And I intend to keep it that way. It's important to have good relationships with Italy. It's a wonderful country, strong ally, great culture. And it's in America's interest that we have good bilateral relations. And I think the trip today advanced those bilateral relations a lot. And so thanks for working hard. Look, it's not easy to host a guy who needs, 19 vehicles to drive. 21 different phone outlets, food tasters, baggage carriers, It's the modern day safari when George W. rides. And I know it takes a lot of work to make sure that these trips go well, and I know a lot of you work hard to do so. So Laura and I send our deepest thanks. Thanks for serving our country. Thanks for being such wonderful hosts. And now we'll go get our pictures taken with the whittlers and come back and say hello to you. God bless you.